is my review for Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Dirge. Dirge, as you can see, is a repaint of Gente Dirge, which is a slight retool and repaint of the Classics Ramjet mold. And very, very cool. Not a whole lot of differences aside from the new wings and color scheme from any other Seeker. Very, very cool, though. He does have the same metallic shimmer on the blue plastic that Generations Thrust had on his red plastic. It's not as noticeable just because the color is a lot darker, but when you hold it at certain angles, it still gives off this really, really cool shimmer, just like Generations Thrust, and I'm really happy that they kept that in Generations Dirge because I really, really like that about Generations Thrust, and I really like it about Generations Dirge. Anyway, there are a couple of variations on this figure. I apparently got one that was either painted incorrectly or was just a really super rare variant, because mine only has one Decepticon symbol on one wing, and every other one I've seen has two on each wing. There are some that have the white triangle inside the top crest. Mine doesn't, a lot of others don't, but there are a couple of variations on this figure. Personally, I don't really care either way about any of the variations, because I think that they're all basically just the same figure with a very minute difference. But, you know, if you are picky about that, I would check out your Dirges before you pick one up. Anyway, not much to say about it in terms of features. It does have the missile launchers just like any other Seeker, and he does have the flip-up landing gear, which we'll go ahead and fold up and start on transformation. I won't talk you through it, seeing as you've seen this several times on my channel, so I'll just go ahead and breeze right through it. His joints are all really tight. They're not as annoyingly tight as Generations Thrust, but they are very tight, so they can hold a lot of poses. And also, a lot of people complained about this guy having some really sloppy paint apps. Particularly Kapow Toys had a really bad one where he had a silver streak going down the belt piece right here. But I don't have any of those issues. This guy came out fairly clean. There are a couple of them just on the sides, but they're all very, very minute, and they're more like paint scratches rather than splotches. So I got one with a very nice paint job, but there are some out there with some sloppy paint jobs, which is a bit unfortunate. But the mold has been used countless times, so it is understandable why it's starting to degrade a little bit. And we'll go ahead and attach his missile launchers. And there you have Dirge in robot mode. Very, very cool. Like I said, some very tight joints so he can hold a lot of nice poses. He does have a little bit more arm articulation than the rest of the Seekers, just due to how these wings are designed. It wasn't like with Thrust where you had the wings that hindered the arm articulation because of the missile launchers. These wings are small enough to where the missile launcher can get past it, so you can have a little bit more posability in the arms, which is nice, but, you know, it is the classic Seeker mold, so the posability is a little bit limited anyway. But anyway, like I said, not much to say about him. Same posability otherwise, same overall, just the same overall figure as Thrust or Ramjet or Classic Starscream. Well, it's not the same as Classic Starscream, seeing as it does have the cone head. But anyway, for some size comparisons, first off, here he is next to Bumblebee. So you can see, like any other Seeker, he's a little bit shorter than the average Deluxe. Next, here he is next to Generations Thrust. So now all I need is Generations Ramjet, or Classics Ramjet, I mean, not Generations Ramjet. Hopefully they will make a Generations Ramjet, which would be nice, because I wouldn't have to pay $50 for a Classics Ramjet on eBay. Anyway, also here he is next to the original Seeker mold, Classic Starscream, or Universe Starscream. So very, very cool. So overall, yeah, I mean, not much I can say about him that I haven't said about the other Seeker figures. He does have a little bit more added articulation. He does seem to have a lot more sloppy paint apps on most versions. Mine, of course, as I mentioned, came out just fine. But there are some out there that do have some sloppy paint apps. But overall, I highly recommend this guy. I think he's really, really cool, and I definitely think that he's a worthy addition to the Seeker collection. And there you go, my look at Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Dirge. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.